Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. And Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting and intriguing. And today we are talking about all the greatness within you. All the greatness within you, which is the title of this wonderful children's book by my fellow FAMU alum, Miss Tameka Fryer Brown, who's also a homegirl from the 305. But before I bring Tameka on, I need to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn, and your comments and questions are very much so welcome. So please put your city and state in the comments so we can give you a shout out and recognize you. I see some folks are tuning in, but not quite in the chat yet, and that's all right. But this is going to be a great conversation. So please like, please share, please tag a friend and let them know they need to be on here because we're talking about all the greatness within you. And we will be also talking about our littles and why representation matters. And so I see Miss Maya Butler here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here, Maya. Hope you are doing well. I know there'll be more folks joining us, but I'm going to go ahead and share Tameka's bio with you. So Tameka Fry Brown is a children's book author who writes to sow seeds of self-love, connection, and inclusion in the hearts of children. Her books have won numerous literary awards and have been featured on best book lists by the New York Public Library, Bank Street College, NPR, Parents Latina Magazine, and the Little Free Library, and more. And her titles include Brown Baby Lullaby, That Flag, Not Done Yet, Shirley Chisholm's Fight for Change, and All the Greatness in You. And her next book, Prayer Is, will be published in January of 2026. In addition to writing, she enjoys introvert friendly activities while playing board games, Netflix binging, and over analyzing everything. Oh my gosh, she sounds just like me. She is a member of the Brown Bookshelf Writers and Illustrators of North Carolina and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as well as a proud alumna of Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. Go Rattlers. Y'all help me welcome Miss Tameka Fryer Brown. Yay.
How
Well,
are you, Nicole?
I am well. I am well. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell the people, who is Tameka Fryer Brown? Not what you do, but who are you in your own words?
Okay, well, I am a striver.
Okay.
I'm a striver in everything I do as a mom, a wife, a daughter, as a Christ follower. That is, that's always my goal to do better and to be better tomorrow than I was today. So I would say I'm a striver.
Love it. Love it. Love it. A striver. Yes. And we all need to be striving for better each and every day, right?
Every day, every day.
Mhm, mhm. So, talk to us a little bit about this journey to becoming an author, a children's book author specifically, because when you were at FAM, you were at SBI just like me.
I was an SBI, I was a business administration major.
Mhm.
I had no idea that writing was something that I would ever do. In fact, I tell this story sometimes. When I was growing up, I never even thought about the fact that people wrote books. It's almost like they just showed up on the shelf and you just pulled them out. It just was not on my radar whatsoever.
Wow.
But when I graduated from FAMU, I got a job as medical supply sales rep. And I
Okay.
did that for a while. Then I got married and then I had a baby.
Mhm.
And I used to have to travel a lot with my job. And so when it got to the point where they wanted me to be on the road like 4 nights a week, and I
Mhm.
had an 8-month-old baby, I had to make a change. So I came home, and then you know how it goes. That one baby turned into 3 babies before I knew it.
Mhm.
And I loved the privilege of being a full-time mom, but at some point I decided I wanted to do something different. And I just happened to be reading a picture book to my youngest daughter one day, and
Okay.
I was like, "This is it. This is what I think I am supposed to be doing."
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so that was the beginning of my journey.
Nice, nice, nice. And so what was your first book? What's the title of your first book that you wrote?
My first book is Around Our Way on Neighbor's Day. Let's see, I have a copy of
Okay.
it
Look,
here.
she right here, ready. Got her
Look,
books
you gotta
ready.
be
I
ready. You
love
gotta
it.
be ready. And so no, this is it, Around Our Way on Neighbor's Day.
Okay,
And it
nice.
came out in 2010.
Okay, wow.
That's
So
my first
what's
one.
that, 15 years of writing?
15, well, about 20 years of writing.
Okay.
Yeah, but 15 years before, since my first book came out.
Nice, nice,
So
nice,
yeah.
nice. All right. Well, congratulations on that, because
Thank you.
I mean, you talk about a shift in professions, right?
It is.
Mm,
But I think it was an extension. I came to realize, even when I was still in school, I
mhm,
remember uh, Dr. Clark. We had some kind of uh, writing thing that we needed to do,
mhm,
and it was like, where do you see yourself in the future?
mm.
And in addition to like the Dominique Devereaux high rise, corporate mogul side, I
Not
always
Dominique Devereaux. Now you went there. Now. You
went
telling your
there,
age for real.
girl. But no, really, she was like a role model, and again, representation, right? I
Uh-huh.
saw her on Dynasty and I was like, that's what I want. But at
Mm,
the same time, in that report, I spent a lot of time talking about um, motherhood
mhm,
and what I saw. And I remember him saying, I never pictured you, being so focused on that side. Well, fast forward all those years later, when I had to make a choice, I chose to focus on motherhood.
nice.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, you know what? I don't even remember what you asked me. I kind of got sidetracked on Dominique Devereaux.
No, I was just saying the shift from business
Yeah.
to being an author. No, that's phenomenal. So, we got several folks that have chimed in, so I definitely want to pause and acknowledge them. My mom down in Miami, thank you for being here, Ma. I love you. Sonia B, who's here in Tally, thank you for being here, Sonia. My cousin Nora in Virginia, thank you for joining us, Nora. I love you. Lisa, she's saying congratulations to you. Lisa's here in Tallahassee. Thank you for joining us. And John White, who's in Jacksonville. Duval is in the house. Thank you for being here, John. So, our topic is all the greatness within you, right?
Mhm.
And I actually have several Tameka Fry Brown books, okay? So don't get it twisted, all right? I'm a
Yay.
supporter, okay? I am a supporter.
Excited.
Yes, and I have also purchased the new book that's coming out, but I read this to my class, and this book is so inspiring because it talks about just life, just the ups and downs of life, and how this little boy, his parents are there to support him along the way with all of the things that he's doing, right? And
Mhm.
so I want you to talk about like why representation like this matters. Like, seeing brown parents in
Mhm.
these books for the children, like why that matters.
Absolutely.
Mhm,
Um, it matters for brown children and it matters for children who aren't black and brown.
Mm-hmm.
There is a doctor, Dr. Rudine Sims Bishop, who is quite well known in literary spaces, and she came up with this terminology that all children need to see themselves in books as mirrors. They also need to see other people that are not like them in books. And those would be window books. So children need mirror books, window books, and books that serve as sliding glass doors that form that connection between different worlds. And so it's important for Black children, brown children to see themselves in books because it communicates to them that their lives are important, that they are important, their families, their communities, the things that um, their culture, the things that they do on a day-to-day basis, when they can see those reflected authentically in the pages of a book, it speaks to them. It encourages them to know how loved and valued they are within their families and within our society. So that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's why representation matters for kids to see themselves in mirrors, but it also matters for other children to see families and people existing in ways that they aren't familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
because then that plants seeds of connection and empathy in their hearts so that hopefully all of them can grow up to be a generation that is much more accepting, compassionate, and connected and self confident
Mm-hmm.
than generations that have come before. So that's why it's representation in children's books is so important.
Absolutely. So thank you for sharing all of that. I
Yeah.
think that's fabulous. And so I want to get our viewers involved um, in terms of maybe the books that the littles in your lives have. Do you have some books that represent you, your family, your culture, your loved ones? Let us know in the comments if you have what they call black kid lit, right?
Right.
That's some of the terminology that they use to describe these books, these children's books that have black and brown faces on it. I see our classmate Oscar Scott on. Hey, classmates, so proud
Yes,
of you both. Thank you, Tameka, for sending a signed copy of your book to my baby niece. Love that.
absolutely. Of course.
Yes, thank you, Oscar. And Mr. John said, I'm glad to see Black fathers represented.
Absolutely. And in fact, it's interesting about All the Greatness in You.
Mhm.
It is actually kind of the sequel to another book I have called Brown Baby Lullaby.
Mhm.
And it's also a book full of affirmations, just like All the Greatness in You. But
Yes.
this one is geared towards babies and toddlers. And my editor, she was like, when we finished this one, she's like, you know what? We need another book for when they kind of age out of this book, so that we keep the
Okay.
affirmations
I like
going.
that.
And I
Yeah,
was like, I got you.
I got you. Right. No,
Yeah,
this is a wonderful book. And I think being able to see just the different aspects again of life, right? Because there is a time when uh this this little boy, he is playing sports, but he falls down, and it's tough, right?
right.
But he sheds a tear. Look,
That's
it's
right.
okay to cry. It's all
It's
right.
okay.
It's okay.
It's a
So
part of the process.
yes, sheds a tear, try again, keep striving for the win. So I love that. I love that. So Sonya B said, most definitely have given Black Kid Lit to my niece. Love that. Love that. Love that. Yes. And so as we are preparing, and Tameka, let me just say this to my viewers. Tameka did not know I was gonna pull all these books out
I did not.
tonight. Did not know. Did not know. In fact, I hadn't even talked to her about what we was gonna talk about. I just know I love this book, and I bought these others. But as the holidays are coming near, consider these for your littles in your life. Okay. Support us And this is the gift that keeps on giving, right? Because not only are you supporting a great author, you are supporting great stories in the lives of your littles, right? That representation that we're talking about, right? And so what's been some of the feedback that you've received from folks as it relates to your books that you've written?
Um, I love receiving feedback not only from parents and adults, and I receive positive feedback from them, but also from kids themselves.
Mm,
Um, with all the greatness in you, um, parents and same thing with Brown Baby Lullaby actually, parents get kind of choked up, about it because the way I express and the illustrator. I always like to shout out my illustrators. Aliana Harris did All the Greatness in You. A.G. Ford did Brown Baby Lullaby because with picture books, it's not just about the words, it's also
mhm.
about the imagery.
Yes.
And for both of these books, they're just so warm and loving that when parents read them, it's kind of like what they want to express to their kids, whether or not they had the words to say it or not. So
Right.
when they read it to them, they kind of get choked up. They're very rereadable. So the kids, a lot of times the parents will say, "This is my kid's new favorite book." And
Mm,
Brown Baby Lullaby, they want to read it all the time. And I just got the email the other day from
mm,
somebody who said that All the Greatness in You is now their family's favorite book. So that's
nice.
that's very encouraging. And it makes me know that like I'm doing the right thing, like I'm in the right direction with my life and my purpose. But I also have some more serious books.
Mhm.
I've got nonfiction about Shirley Chisholm,
Mhm.
um, and talking about the phenomenal ancestor representative. Yeah, Shirley Chisholm, not done yet. And we're
Mhm.
talking about her life and all her firsts and her trailblazing acts. But we're also communicating to children that the journey towards justice is ongoing and
Mhm.
that we all have a part to play, as do they. And
Yes.
so that I love to get positive feedback and present that to kids at schools and to
Mhm.
hear how engaged they are, with the story. I love that. And
Yes.
then that flag, I think you've read that one.
Mhm. I
Um,
haven't read it to them yet. I haven't.
oh,
I do have it, but I haven't
okay.
read it yet.
Okay, well, read it to yourself first,
Okay.
And that one generates a lot of conversation. I've witnessed it and presenting it at schools, and I've heard
Okay.
about it. And that one, just so viewers know, that one's about best friends, one black, one white,
Mhm.
who are end up divided over the meaning and significance of the Confederate flag. And
Ah,
so that one's pretty timely. That book is tends to be geared towards first grade and up,
okay.
as opposed to the other ones are like 4 years old and up. So yeah,
Gotcha, gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. Okay, so we are getting quite a few comments. I definitely want to acknowledge some folks. Miss Brittany has just joined us, who's here in Tallahassee. Thank you, Brittany. And Tracy Gole said, "Great gifts for all. Let someone else get the toys." Yes, Tracy, that's what I'm talking
Exactly.
about.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for being here. And Lisa just said, I definitely want this book for Nana Boos. That's what she calls her grands. She said, I do story time every Wednesday with my Nana Boo in Houston, Texas through WhatsApp. Love that.
I love that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely, Lisa. So yes, you gotta get these books. All right, brother Quasi in Atlanta just joined us, and my girlfriend Sharice in Atlanta also just joined us. Thank you all for being here. So we are talking all the greatness within you, or all the greatness in you is the title of this book written by my classmate and homegirl Tameka Fryer Brown, who I'm talking to today. And the greatness is tapping in, like being able to have representation for our littles and for them to see themselves and recognize that they are great, right? Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not only that there is greatness inside of them already, but that there is so much more greatness
Mm,
inside of them just waiting to be revealed. This
yes.
is a book that communicates that it's great to ask questions and
Mm,
to think and to be a thinker and to challenge information, what people are telling you. Ask those questions. Be willing to make mistakes.
yes.
Be willing to fall down, try new things, fall down,
Mhm.
because there's something inside of you called resilience. We talk about that in the book. I love a good vocabulary word in a
That's
book.
it.
So we talk about resilience, that
Resilient.
it's a bounce back and that
Mhm.
it lives inside of you. And that's what's going to help you get through. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to
Right.
try new things. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
No, that's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. And it's also um talking about different vocations, right? So sous chef, dishwasher, co-pilot, coach, gardener, meteorologist, right? All great things. When we think about, what's inside our young people, what's inside us, right? That maybe we didn't tap into at a young age, but through this exposure, right, that this young person is getting with their parents, in their life, maybe something, whether that's gardening or coaching or being a chef, it will awaken something in them that says, hey, I really like doing this. I want to do this, you know, as for a living or as a vocation or as a way of, as a livelihood, right?
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. The things that they do, we do on a day-to-day basis. Who knows where those things can take us, where our passions can take us? Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah. So again, another reason why I really love this book. So I think you definitely nailed this. So talk to me a little bit about just, what are you seeing out there amongst like your other authors that do Black children's lit, especially with what seems like the rollback of DEI, and maybe there were where maybe some of the books that are Black kid lit may have been more accepted. Now, maybe some organizations are shying away from it. So tell me kind of what you're seeing out there now.
Absolutely. In 2020, when we were supposed to be going through the racial reckoning, folks were getting a lot more book contracts, Black people, because that had been a problem prior to that. So we were seeing a lot of people get more book contracts, and now we do see it reversing a
Mhm.
lot right now. But that doesn't mean that the books aren't out there. They are.
Mhm.
And what people can do is to buy them, because at the end of the day, publishing is a business,
Mhm.
and they speak in the language of dollars, just like every other company in this country.
Mhm.
And so the reason why you may see, or why we may be experiencing some rollback, is because they are anticipating that people will not buy anymore.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's up to us, it's up to consumers. Like somebody said, instead of toys, buying books, right? It's up to consumers, people who believe that it's important for our children to see themselves in books, to make a concerted effort to buy them. Because when publishers see that they're still going to make a lot of money on these books, they will continue to buy them and buy them from us and publish them at greater rates. And let me say this:
Mhm.
every book that has a Black character in it is not written by a Black author or
Mhm.
illustrated by a Black illustrator. So
Mhm.
I also recommend just doing that extra step. All it takes is a little Google search of the name
Right.
to see, because a lot of us um, could use that extra support for you doing that Google search, because a lot of times the books that get pushed may be books that have Black and brown faces on them,
Mhm.
but we aren't benefiting as authors and illustrators because, we aren't the ones who wrote them. So that's
Mhm.
just a little extra,
No, no, I appreciate you making that point, because you're right. That sometimes that is not the case, and so I mean, still representation matters regardless, but you definitely want that extra layer of somebody who has the lived experience of
And
being.
and 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 you tend to be able to tell the difference. Like in my books, I'm going to talk about the foods we eat,
Mhm.
the macaroni and cheese around the holidays, the
Mhm.
sweet potato pie, the chitlins that nobody really wants, but auntie brought them anyway. We're going to
Right.
be playing spades. We got fraternities represented. Those are the types of things with the details that are
Mhm.
in the books by people with a lived experience. The other books just tend to be like very generic. And
Right.
I'm not saying that you can't buy those, but there's something when we're talking about representation, it's more than just a brown face. It's
Yeah.
lived experiences. That's a part of representation as well.
Yeah. 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 All right. So Lisa said, Miss Brown, I stated a children's book, but I'm having a problem with illustrations. Can you help me with that journey? Maybe you started, did you? Maybe she started a children's book. So,
Right.
yes. So, are there some illustrators that you might be able to connect her with?
Well, I think it's probably I'm a traditionally published author,
Mhm.
which is a different journey than a self-published author.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so with my path, I sell my manuscript to a traditional publisher,
Okay.
and then they find the illustrator and
Mm,
they
gotcha.
put out all the funds, and they are basically buying the right to publish my words in
Okay.
book form. Okay. And so with the indie publishing or self-publishing, you are um, finding your own illustrator. So I said all that to say, since that's not my path, I don't really know a lot of illustrators.
Got it.
But what I will say is if you join this organization called the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, they teach you about both, whatever path you want to do, traditional publishing or indie publishing. They've
Okay.
got information there to help you with that journey, and you could be able to connect with illustrators that would be suitable for your project. So maybe start there.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. So we got a few more folks that have joined us. I think this might be Kesey. Thank you for joining us. And Mr. Warren K. Good evening, family and friends. Thank you for being here, Warren. So we are almost at the halfway point for our broadcast. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I am on with Tameka Fryer Brown, children's book author, FAMU alum, native Miamian, SBI graduate, and we are talking all the greatness within you, which the inspiration behind this topic is this book that she wrote, All the Greatness in You. And she has several other books, which I'm gonna hold up for those who just turned in. That flag, Not Done Yet, which is a story about Shirley Chisholm, and then 12 Dinging Doorbells. 12 Dinging Doorbells. These are just a few of the topics. I mean, the books that she has authored. And so,
And that one is a holiday book, so this is the right time of year to buy that one. Thanksgiving,
okay,
Christmas,
okay, all
Kwanzaa,
right.
all that.
So I have not read this to my littles in my school at my class, but yes, oh my goodness, look, it's talking about, like you said, macaroni and cheese, chitlins, uh, what else? Oh, sweet potato pie. I'm getting hungry just thinking about this. All this stuff
Mhm.
right here. Listen. All right, that's cute. So I got to take this one to Miami so I can share this with my little nephews. So yes, all right. Let's see. Warren said it doesn't matter what topic I learned something about. Learned something out of all of conversations with Nicole. I appreciate that so much. All right. And Pamela Monroe. Pamela Monroe is the director of the Leon County Library here in Tallahassee. And she said, I'm going to put this on my African American read in list for the library. Woo, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on here, Pam. I appreciate you. All right. So we're talking all the greatness within you, and more specifically kind of why representation matters, right? And so and it sounds like you've gotten some really great feedback from, the parents, from our children, and it's important for us to support this work, right? If we want to have representation in these books, right? And
Absolutely.
I know we talked about how there's been a bit of a rollback in terms of the contracts not coming as frequently as they were maybe 5 years ago,
Mhm.
but we're here, right? And we can
Absolutely.
support, right?
Absolutely. And it's still possible. I don't want to paint it too gloom
Yeah,
and
yeah,
doom.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still, I got another book coming out in 2027. So, it's still
Okay.
possible. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So tell us a little bit about the book that's coming out in January.
Yes. Okay. So I don't have that one to hold up. It's
Yes.
called Prayer. It's called Prayer Is, and
Uh-huh.
it is kind of my take, what I taught my kids about prayer. Um and what I think makes it a bit different than some other books that are on the market is that I find a lot of the other books are very reductive
Mhm.
and super simplistic. And it's not like that this was very wordy. It's not. But just like All the Greatness in You, it's kind of got layers and it's got some things in it that adults will I think benefit from as well. We talk about how prayer is not just like asking for stuff,
Mm,
right? Prayer is all kinds of things. It's meditation,
mm,
right? It's being still and quiet.
mhm.
It is lifting other people up.
Nice.
It's a gift from God that everybody gets to use, no matter who we are, what we do. He loves us and he wants to hear from us. It encourages kids to speak authentically
Yes.
with, in their prayers, not just saying the rote stuff.
Mhm.
Memorization. I'm not having anything against memorization of prayers and scripture. That's important too. But
Right.
we also want to encourage our kids just to speak from the heart.
Yeah.
It also talks about how God answers prayers in different ways.
Mm,
Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no,
mhm.
sometimes it's not right now. So
Right.
it's but again, I'm saying it's a lot, but it's very it's told in a way that's very accessible for kids. So
I love
just
that.
like All the Greatness in You. Yeah.
I love
And
that.
it's also illustrated by Aliana Harris, the
Okay.
same illustrator for All the Greatness in You.
Nice. Pam said, "You are speaking to my soul." Love
Okay.
that. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And so what's kind of the inspiration behind the books that you have written?
All kinds of things,
Mhm.
just life. Each one of them is a bit different.
Right.
My very first one, when I first started, you just so passionate once you find, what you think your purpose is. And I was just, I had notebooks all over the house, just I was in it. And so I just
Okay.
happened to be in that twilight phase of sleep,
Uh,
waking up,
mhm.
and I got the rhythm for the story that would ultimately, over a couple of years, become around our Well Neighbors Day. My second book, my Cold Plum Lemon Pie Bluesy Mood,
Uh-huh.
that came out. There's a refrain that says, "I'm in a mood," and that came because I was just in a mood one day, and I had to tell myself, "It's not everybody else, Tameka. It's you." Yeah, I said, "Yeah, I'm in a mood," and then
Okay.
I was like, "Ooh, that would make like a good hook for a story." So that was that one.
Mhm.
Brown Baby Lullaby is because I was having some nostalgic moments about my kids growing up and not being babies anymore, and
Mm.
I just wanted to capture that in a book. So it could just be anything. 12 Dinging Doorbells. I was hyped off of Thanksgiving with Black families, and I
Okay.
was getting ready to go to Miami for Christmas, and
Gotcha.
those two things kind of came together, and I wrote that book. So it's just life.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, our one of our other classmates is on, Mr. Ishmael Rents out of Gainesville, and he said no is a complete sentence. So,
Okay.
all right, Pastor Ish. Okay, well, good. So I like hearing that, the inspiration kind of comes from, all over. Is there a book that you have yet to write that you desire to write?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I am wanting to write a middle grade novel.
Mm.
and I have the idea,
Okay.
and it is just a matter of, I even have like the first chapter, which
Oh,
I've gotten really great feedback on from some folks that have read it in the industry. And
okay.
so now I just have to like get my mind and my body set and focused and just start, hammering it out.
Love it. Love it.
So,
Love
yeah.
it. Okay. Well, let me acknowledge Brother Akko, who is tuning in from Sneeds, Florida. Thank you for being on, Brother Akko. So I love to hear that. It sounds like the wheels are, kind of constantly turning with you. And this really does sound like, your jam in terms of being the thing that really makes you happy, like your labor of love. And not, I guess that, the pharmaceutical sales didn't do it for you, but this sounds like this is really what you enjoy doing. And it sounds like you have identified some greatness within you with this work that you're doing.
Yeah, it's so funny how things evolve.
Mhm,
And I think that it was an inspired, idea that just, it kind of because it just kind of struck me one
mhm,
day when I was searching for the thing that I was supposed to do.
mhm,
Um, as a young mom, I started thinking about legacy
mm,
and what I wanted to not only leave for my children, but also for the world, like to say that I was here. And so just pondering all those things when the inspiration came that maybe picture books or writing children's books was the
mhm.
thing, and it just tied all those things together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still now I don't, it's not like I don't have my ups and downs. This can be a
Right.
very frustrating industry. It's rife with all kinds of no's. I mean,
Mm,
I hear no all the time,
yeah.
but it's also when you're passionate about something, it just takes one yes every
Mhm,
now and again to keep you
mhm,
going.
mhm.
And then also to know that, whether or not a book sells a billion copies or not, to get those letters from kids that tell you what your book has meant to them, that's everything.
So you didn't tell me the Lils write you.
Oh, yeah, sometimes I get letters. And I'll tell you one quick story. So
Okay.
I have a sister author,
Uh-huh.
and she's just, her name is Alice Faye Duncan. And if you're looking for some other incredible books by incredible Black authors, Alice Faye Duncan writes them. But
Okay.
so she called me one day and she was like, okay, so I've got this little neighbor kid, and he doesn't like to read, right? And
Okay.
and I always ask him, he's riding around the bike. I say, "Hey, what's going on? How are you doing? How's school? Okay, whatever." He didn't like school. He didn't like to read. And she
Uh-huh.
said one day I asked him. We went through the routine. And I was like, "How are you? How's school?" And he's like, "Great." And she's like, "Oh." And he told her that he found a book that he really loved. And she was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, what is it?" And he said, "My cold plum lemon pie bluesy mood." She was like, "Oh." And so she she called me and told me, and I sent him a signed copy because
Oh,
he had it from the library. And I
nice.
sent him a signed copy, and he sent me a letter back.
Oh, wow.
And I think he's, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years old. And
That's a
so that's special. Yeah.
that is a cool story. Really
Yeah.
cool story.
She's like, "All the books are right. I'm his neighbor. He come talk about some of my cold plum lemon pie bluesy blues."
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's funny. Lisa, you are a naturally gifted writer, Mrs. Brown. Oh,
No, thank you.
nice,
Thank you
nice,
so
nice.
much.
All right. She said it may was mentioned earlier, but at what age did you start sensing that you could be a book author?
I think I was like 34.
Okay.
Yeah. Because,
Mm,
yeah, I think that's how old I would have been when my youngest daughter was about 2 years old. So
gotcha.
33, 34.
All right. So it's
Mhm.
never too old to tap into the greatness within you.
Never too old.
Love that. All right. So, do you do readings?
Yes. Do you mean like at
Like at maybe
bookstores
bookstore or
or?
libraries or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I do author visits, I
Okay.
do readings, yeah, I visit schools.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I
Ni
do all the things.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Listen, when you coming back to Tallahassee?
I don't know, somebody need to bring me in, I'll be
We do. We need to bring you in.
there.
Got a whole week's worth of stuff to do.
Okay, well, look, let's talk.
Listen, let's talk because that would
Mhm.
be great. It really
Yeah.
would be. All right. So again, we've talked Black Kid Lit, the importance of representation, not only for the children. Ooh, look, wait a minute. Pam said, I told you she the director of library services at the library over here, right?
Hey, Pam,
And she
I'm
listen.
willing and able, let me know.
Listen, she said, "Let's talk. We got a call.
Okay,
We gonna plan a coffee anyway." Look, because
yes,
I recently saw Pam. I was like, "We need to get together." So, yeah, listen, we might be able to make that happen sooner rather than later. So,
all right.
yes, ma'am. But representation mattering not only for the black and brown children but for others, right,
Absolutely.
who may have some kind of skewed way of looking at the lives of black and brown folks. And so maybe what has been some of the feedback or the response that you've seen from non-black and brown folks as it relates to your books?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, kind of like we talked about, particularly if it's a family where the parents are open to and focused on making sure that their children are exposed to other people, cultures, ways of living in literature. Yeah, I've gotten great feedback. Specifically, the first book that comes to mind is That Flag.
Mm.
And if you go online, like to bookseller sites like Amazon or Goodreads or anything like that, you will read, the same kinds of feedback that I got, and
Mm,
stories where parents say that they, read the book with their 8-year old. Maybe they didn't have the words of how to really explain it before, but the book was
mhm,
helpful to explain why the Confederate flag is so painful and
mm,
harmful to our fellow citizens, right?
mm.
And just being a very good way to enter that conversation.
Yeah.
So I always love to get feedback like that, it lets me know that I'm making a difference,
Mhm.
and hopefully helping to usher in um, next generations that are better than we are, our generations, as it relates to um, connection and empathy and inclusion. So.
Absolutely. No, that's real good. So thank you for sharing that. Oh,
Mhm.
my mom wants to know, how about Miami? When will you be here?
I'll probably be in Miami fairly soon, but I go back to Miami, off and on. So yeah, we can make Miami stuff happen pretty easily.
All right, Ma. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk. All right. Ishmael, with a number of authors going the indie route, what into the thinking process of going the route you took?
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, so I started back in it was 2005 when I decided I wanted to start writing for children.
Okay.
And what made me decide is I did not want to put out that outlay of funds that was
Mhm.
required to be a self-published author.
Gotcha.
Especially at the time, there was not the uh, print on demand
Mhm.
options. Like
Mhm.
you had to order a bunch and put them in your garage and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
And so I didn't want to put out that outlay. I wanted to try to take advantage of traditional publishing's um, distribution channels
Mhm.
and additional marketing dollars, and they front the cost. Now I get a royalty, which is not the same as um if I paid for the whole thing as an indie author,
Mhm.
and whatever I made was my profits, right?
Right.
So there's the pros and the cons. However, with the increased distribution, I'm selling likely way more copies that I would have sold if I were doing everything on my own.
Mhm.
So those are the factors, the things I just wanted to write.
Mm.
I wanted to focus more on the writing than the trying to figure out how I was going to afford to do this, that, or the other.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah.
Okay, cool. And with being a traditional author, do you depend some on the publishing company, I guess, to like get the word out there, or you know, are you doing some of that as well?
Oh, we definitely have to do that as
Okay.
well. In fact, more than I thought that we would have to. I was like, but anyway, so yeah, but the thing is, the minimum that we complain about that they're doing is
Mhm.
still a whole lot.
Oh, okay, got
So right, so they are reaching out to school and library. They do have you in their catalogs, et
you.
cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
But they publish a lot of books. So
Mhm.
every author is, responsible for trying to figure out how do I make my book stand out from the crowd.
Mhm.
There are some authors that get the big marketing dollars. Like, they're gonna put the big dollars behind the Obama's books. There's even
Gotcha.
some other well-known kid lit folks that get big dollars. But for the vast majority of us, we
Mhm.
got to kind of figure out how to make ourselves stand out. So
Got
thank goodness for social media.
uh,
That's kind of a free or low cost way to
right.
try to do that. But
Right, right,
yeah,
right. All right. Miss Jeanette is joining us from Miami Garden. She said, get invited to the Miami Book Fair Children's Corner annual book fair in November. Have you been to the Miami Book Fair?
I have not. I want to. I want
No.
to. And usually I'm not there at that
Uh,
time of year. My 2027 book, my publisher has indicated that they're going to send me because the theme is Miami, like my growing up, my childhood in Miami. It's very,
ah,
very Miami.
okay,
So,
nice.
I've got that commitment for that book, but
Okay.
yeah. So I really wanted to. I've asked, I'm like, can y'all send me here? And some other books, the answer was no. But I'm looking forward to coming in
Yes,
2027 at least.
yes, yes. No, that'll be really exciting. No, that is a stellar book fair. Did you ever go back when you were home or no?
I did not. I don't know how long it's been in existence, but I only heard about it as an author. So
No, it's been
mm,
around for a minute.
yeah, I didn't go. I
Mhm.
didn't know.
Yeah. And they have like, she's talking about like the children's corner.
I've
So
heard about it. I know about it. Look, I've done my research. I want to be there. I really do. If I had been able to because I think when you don't go with the publisher support, then
mm,
I think you have to like pay for not only getting there but like
uh-huh.
being there.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
And
Yeah,
so yeah,
because it's a big deal.
yeah.
All right. We got Arthur Marcus Boston on. He's in Tampa. Yes, I have an author on, Marcus. He's just joining us. Thank you for being here. So we've been talking all the greatness within you, which is the inspiration is this book, All the Greatness in You, written by Tameka Fire Brown. And so this has been just a lovely conversation around representation, around the importance of supporting Black authors and illustrators, and just, the greatness that's in us that's maybe untapped that we need to tap into, that we need to, especially during this time, right? A lot of things going on, a lot of freezes and layoffs and just all of the things happening, right? And it's never too late to tap into your greatness.
Never, never too late.
Mm.
And following our passions, figuring out the things that not only we enjoy doing, but that we're good at, or, other folks have recognized talents and abilities within us. If it resonates, look into it, see how you can monetize it.
Mhm.
Make it, yeah, make it something that you might be able to. And I just saw something today. Um, and it struck me, so many times when we're in those situations, we spend a lot of times thinking and planning, thinking and planning. There's nothing wrong with thinking and planning. That was you. I read this documentary. I'm quoting you. But sometimes you just got to get out there and do
I
it, right?
said, just do
Yeah,
it.
do it. Look at me talking about it was somebody. It
It
was
was me. Yes, that show comes out tomorrow, actually.
okay. That's all.
Look at you quoting me. Come on.
Yes, yes,
No, yeah, but listen, we can spend a whole lot of time overthinking,
yeah.
about all the things, I need this, I need that. Nah, you need to do it. That's what you need to do.
Exactly. And in fact, when I first started, remember I told you I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I want to do. I had so much confidence in
Mm.
that direction and in my ability
Mhm.
that like within a week I wrote this story and I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. And I sent it out to all the major publishing houses and
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
just sit back waiting for them to have a bidding war over my books.
Come
Of
on.
course, that did not happen, of course, but that it was that confidence and it
Yes.
was that excitement, and even when that didn't work out, I was not deterred because I
Mhm.
just really felt like, "Okay, I've started this journey, I'm
Yeah,
researching this." The energy that I felt, I wanna keep feeling
I
this,
know
and
that's
so
right.
sometimes it's just like, just do it, get started. Then
Yeah.
one step takes you to the
One foot.
next.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Ooh, you got me all charged up and ready to go now. So I want to hear from our viewers. So tell us about something that you are desiring to do that is a passion of yours, that is something that inspires you, that motivates you. Let us know in the comments if you don't mind sharing. Again, safe space, no judgment, but just let us know, what is it? What is there out here that you want to do, that you believe that you would be great at doing? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. So I think again, this is Keisha. She said a word with all these exclamation points and hearts. Yes, agreed. So I'll tell you, I have so many thoughts and dreams about many things that I want to do, Tameka. I tell you, it's not enough hours in the day for all of the things that Nicole Nicole wants to do. But one of the things is start a nonprofit.
Mhm, mhm.
And this nonprofit would be focused on Black and Brown counselors and therapists and assisting them with their licensure through scholarships, through donations, as well as connecting them with opportunities um, to speak, to present, because I get those types of requests all of the time for clinicians to come and talk to groups, or to talk at events. And so that is one of the things that I desire to do that I think is going to be great.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you are the person to make it happen.
Mm,
I see it happening, so I'm excited for you.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Marcus, he says, I'm desiring to transition into another industry and I'll start that soon. All right.
All
Well,
right.
congratulations to you, Mark.
Yes,
Wishing you well as you transition to this new industry. Love
absolutely.
it. Love it. All right. So y'all being real close lip with these things y'all want to do, but that's okay. We just gonna send positive vibes and
Vibes, that's right.
hmm, and
And we believe in you, and we
mhm,
know that you can. Just take whatever that first step is. Is it research? Is it reaching out to somebody else that you know has already started that journey that
mhm.
can be something of a mentor for you?
Yeah.
Whatever that first step is, just take it. Thank you.
Yes, there are a bunch of podcasts out there as well. So maybe somebody that's doing what you want to do that has a podcast or talks about it on a regular basis, listen to them talking about their experiences, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yep.
All right. I have a desire to produce an evidence-based program that will be global. Yes, love it. And you can do it too.
You absolutely can.
Yes, we are standing in agreement with you as it relates to that. So,
Amen. That's right.
yes, 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 yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, I appreciate those of you who, share. We learn from one another in that way. And so, and we can encourage one another as well as we have our goals and our dreams and aspirations. So thank y'all. All right. Well, Tameka, we are coming to the end of our conversation. So I want to give you an opportunity to give some closing remarks and tell the people how they can connect with you.
Well, my closing remark is thank you so much for inviting me to be on your show.
My
Yeah, I am so proud of you and all of the things that you are doing. And I pray for you and I encourage you just to keep going and doing all the things you are doing and know that you all the things that you want to do, you're going to do and you're going to do them greatly. How people can reach me is through my website tamekafryerbrown.com. I am also on Instagram at Tameka Fryer Brown. And on Facebook, I have a public page that is Tameka Fryer Brown author. So,
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you so very much for this conversation. This has been so great. Again, please check out these books, and more books. Okay. She's got them for you.
and
All
more to
right.
come.
Yes, and more to come. And again, this is just a few of the books that she has authored. But this is a holiday book, 12
Yes.
Dinging Doorbells.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and every holiday carol, she says. I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
I can't wait to share that with my littles as well as with my nephews down in Miami. So, if you all have benefited from this conversation, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. I see several folks chiming in. Marcus, we already read that one. Ish, way to go. 88, praying continues blessings upon you, classmates. Thank you,
Same
Ish.
to you.
Yes. All right. Lakeisha Johnson. Yes, hate I missed this. So many great reads. Thank you. She is over at FSU. And I forget the department that she's with, but they deal with early learning.
Oh, nice.
Mm,
Okay, very
yes.
good.
Thank you for being here, Lakeisha. Appreciate you. All right, Marcus, amazing books. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oscar giving us some love. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you. Yes, 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 yes. So let's please keep this conversation going. So please share this link with somebody that you think can benefit from it. Please connect with Tameka, purchase her books. Again, the holidays are coming up. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Three Kings Day, whatever you celebrate, just get a book. Get a book. Get a book. Get a book. Okay. Um, get
Reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental, yes, and readers are leaders. I see that at the school, uh,
Absolutely.
at the school that I volunteer at. Readers are leaders. My mom said, "Great show, thank you so much," and thank you, Lakeisha, for telling me it's the Florida Center for Reading Research. Yes, Florida Center for Reading Research. We'll tune into the replay, absolutely, and please share this with Nicole, Pat, and Terry, my namesake, because she is over at that center as well. I appreciate it. All right. Oh, and then for any new folks that are new to the platform, please subscribe to Conversations with Nicole. We're here Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Focused primarily on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities, but wellness in general. And this is wellness, representation mattering, our children having things that positive books that they can read, real life engagement, explaining some things that might be difficult conversations. So definitely support this work. All right. Well, y'all have a great rest of the evening, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye bye.